Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the Tiger Kickoff Show podcast. Welcome to another episode here on the YouTube channel. Episode 1, we talked preseason. We talked about the excitement for this year. We talked about the entire 2025 roster and schedule as a whole. Today, we only have one objective. Let's show it to you. We are talking about Hate Week. If there's 1 week out of the entire calendar year that you should have circled as a Mizzou fan, it's this week. Jacob, what is Hate Week?
Well, Tyson, do you remember back in elementary school, grade school, maybe even middle school if you went that far, when your teachers would be like, hey, don't use the word hate. Hate is a strong word.
The strongest word.
The strongest word. And I think in this situation, it's not even strong enough to describe this matchup that takes place on Saturday between KU and Mizzou. I mean, we're talking about something, we'll get into the history a little bit later, that goes back into the 1860s.
There's not a
Civil War.
a single person alive today that was there at the beginning of this rivalry.
No.
Think about that.
That's how deep. And you know the saying, like, blood, sweat, and tears, like, that's what's going across. Like, literal bloodshed of innocent civilians has been shed between Missouri and Kansas. Like, that is how deep this rivalry is. Not just the guys on the football field. Now, we'll get into again, the history of this thing is wild. We'll talk about it later. But Hate Week between Kansas and Missouri, it is the biggest rivalry in college athletics. Tyson will make his case as to why it's not later. I'm excited for the Tiger Kickoff Show on Thursday. It's going to be a great time.
Oh, man.
It's going to be a lot of fun. But Hate Week, Mizzou, KU, 120 games.
Whew.
That these two teams have played.
That's a lot of games.
It is a lot of games. It's somewhat even. Mizzou has the edge. I think they have won 57 to KU's 54.
That was interesting. So Danny Wood
like
Sports, an affiliate of the Tiger Kickoff
Yes.
Show, he brought up that there's a disparity between the record kept on the Tiger Kickoff Show or on Mizzou's channel and on Kansas. They're different. They can't agree. But what they can agree on is that Mizzou currently has the lead on this rivalry.
Yeah, a slight edge. But doesn't that make complete sense?
Yeah.
That Mizzou and KU would have two different records?
They can't agree on anything else except that Mizzou's leading the rivalry right now.
And you know, if we're going to agree on one thing, that's the one thing I want to agree on. And hopefully they add one more win to that total on Saturday. But I just feel so blessed right now.
Why is that?
I feel so blessed, Tyson, that I get to experience this rivalry as a college student. Because for the last 14 years, the Kansas Jayhawks got so sad about the Tigers leaving for the big SEC that they decided to not play Missouri since 2011.
Can you believe that Kansas fans with the lowercase k said that Mizzou was ducking by going to the most competitive conference in college football? Oh, surely they don't want competition. They're only going to play against Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, the best of the best, the cream of the crop in college football. And you know it wasn't up to Mizzou that the rivalry hadn't been played for this entire time. You know, there's 2 roads on that street. And I think it's really interesting that the narrative became Mizzou was ducking, when clearly Kansas is sitting comfortable going 5-7 in the Big 12 last year.
In the Big 12, I mean, if we're going to talk about Power 4 conferences, where is the Big 12 in those 4? It's last.
Yeah, what's big about the Big 12, by the way? I'm curious.
The amount of land with nothing on it.
Josh Adams says, Tyson, my hero. What's up, Josh? Welcome to the stream, man. How are you doing today?
Josh, you're my hero.
Josh, you're our hero.
You are our hero.
You're a compliment.
As long as you're not from Kansas, you're our hero. I have driven through Kansas, Tyson, multiple times.
How could you?
I driven through as fast as I could.
Right.
You know?
Fair.
My dad actually got a speeding ticket in Kansas once because we wanted to get through that state so fast.
Fair enough. I'll allow it.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's just flat. It's like you're playing Minecraft flat world mode.
Yeah, it's bad. The state is bad. The stadium was bad. They just
they did renovate.
They did renovate.
Well, funny enough, they actually wanted to swap the games because obviously it's in a home and land.
Why not?
They were playing the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And just in Mizzou fashion, not wanting to give Kansas what they wanted. They decided to turn it.
It would have made more sense.
It would have made sense, but come on. Return to the rivalry. They haven't played here in Columbia, Missouri, since 2006.
That's a long time. I was 1 year old, not even, the last time that these two teams played. So I was born in August 2005. You know, my dad actually played against Kansas, and again, we'll get into the history later. My dad played against Kansas in 2002 and 2003 and split the series with them. So I feel like by covering this game, I'll be able to get the edge for our family right now. I got to avenge my dad. He made plays out there. The team didn't go undefeated against Kansas. And even though I wasn't conceived yet, it still hurts me to this day. And we have to right that wrong this coming up weekend. So, Jacob, there's a lot of history on the football field in this rivalry, but talk to us about the history of Mizzou versus Kansas. Why is there a border war?
Oh my gosh. Well, the border war is actually the lesser used term, but it's the term that we used to coin this rivalry, which is very interesting. The term that you might have heard of is called Bleeding Kansas.
Yep.
Yeah, so we love the Missouri Tigers, and we're very proud of our state of Missouri. This is not one of the things to be proud of. When it comes to the border war or Bleeding Kansas, Missouri, let's just say this, was not on the right side of things here. For the history books, which you'll read in the textbooks, Missouri was a pro-slavery state, and they had these things called border ruffians. And they went into this territory called Kansas, which would later become a terrible state known as Kansas.
Right.
And they would ride in there and literally like rough people up, raid, and try to enact the territory to become a slave state when it entered the Union. As a response, these pro-Union militias in Kansas called Jayhawkers
Right.
would come, and they would come raid the towns of western Missouri. And that is where the blood was shed on both sides, Bleeding Kansas, all this political conflict. It stems from this idea called popular sovereignty.
Yep. Okay.
Which is this thing essentially where the people were to decide if Kansas would enter the Union as a slave or as a free state.
Right.
So the border ruffians that came over from western Missouri were trying to influence that vote through essentially terrorism.
Yeah, so I think that it's fair to say, you know how people say with Kanye, you can separate the art from the artist. I think we can separate the Tigers from Civil War era Missouri, and then we can still be on the right side, the winning side of this rivalry. But if you want to talk about...
Well, here's the thing, Tyson, too. Like, for us Tiger fans that sit there, they're like, what, like, Missouri, the Missouri Tigers are pro... No.
Right.
The Missouri Tigers, the Tigers actually get their names from the Civil War as well.
Okay.
Believe it or not. So the Jayhawkers get the name the Jayhawks. It's kind of like the Hoosiers of Indiana, where it's something that they started calling themselves it. Because Kansas didn't have a mascot originally, like a lot of schools for their teams when they first became a university.
It just was Kansas?
But yeah, the Raiders that would come in and just decimate western Missouri towns were called Jayhawkers.
Right.
And then the Kansans themselves started collectively calling themselves like Jayhawkers.
Yeah.
So then the university took that name up and it became their name. Now, in Columbia, with the Tigers, also, like I said, comes from the Civil War.
Right.
There was a pro-Union militia in Columbia, Missouri.
So that's the good guys.
The good guys, yes. The good guys that would defend the town from Confederate guerrillas that would come in and try to ransack and raid homes.
Harrison Vapnik says MIZ in the comment section, by the way.
Harrison Vapnik,
ZOU.
former host, probably the greatest host of the Tiger Kickoff Show in recent memory. Him and Chase Madison, goats. True goats. Founding fathers right there.
As you were saying.
As I was saying, in Columbia, Missouri, right? So they had this pro-Union militia to defend against these Confederate guerrillas that were coming in and that were raiding these homes and absolutely decimating them. So they bound together and they called themselves the Fighting Tigers. And that's who the university named themselves after. So we are on the right side of history when it comes to the Missouri Tigers name. Yeah, it's not just the Jayhawks. And the Jayhawkers, yes, they were on the right side of things. Does that mean going into people's homes, burning them, ransacking them, and destroying towns is right in any way, shape, or form? No.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
No. Still not.
Dante Jackson, by the way, says, Jacob sounds like a commentator. Not gonna lie, he could be on ESPN.
It's my guy.
Or History Channel. We've been talking about the Civil War for the last 11 minutes of the show.
In the wild, the Jayhawk gets strangled by the tiger.
So we're doing Nat Geo, too.
It's Nat Geo, too, yeah. Yeah, we can do it all. We're versatile here at the Tiger.
We're freelance commentators. We're in college. Any job is a job, and we will take a job.
We'll take it. National Geographic, if you're hiring.
Yeah, or UFC. That was a pretty good choke that he just put on me.
Dana White, take notice.
Anyways, so that's the history of the war. I'm glad we're caught up and up to speed. As you can imagine, being on the wrong side of the Civil War is something I kind of would not appreciate. But the Fighting Tigers and the Jayhawks both agreed that slavery was bad.
Yep.
Great. There's the second thing we all can agree on between Mizzou and Kansas. Now, after that, it's kind of a slippery slope, and we don't agree on much. Kansas, during the whole time we didn't play each other, oh, we're a basketball school. We're a basketball school. What happened the last time Kansas basketball played at Faroe? Just to jog people's memories. If you
Well, the last time, I don't know if Kansas basketball played. I've never played
at Mizzou Arena.
At Mizzou Arena. That would be cool. They should do that. That would be
like
cool.
an outside
basketball. You fit more people. You don't have to deal with this terrible ticket claim system that people are having to deal with.
My goodness gracious.
If you've had to try to use this ticket claim system, let us know because I've heard some nightmares. Tyson and I are so gratefully credentialed.
Yes.
So we don't have to. We still have to walk all the way around the stadium to get in. Tyson, you walked for like 3 hours.
I walked from gate 3E to 5W, so the opposite side of the stadium. And then when I got there, they said they didn't have the badge. And I went on a scavenger hunt and eventually found it. But it took probably a good hour and 45 minutes from the time I arrived to getting on the
I also heard that there were these just massive roadblocks of fans trying to get in through like bottlenecks apparently in the stadium.
By kickoff, everybody wasn't seated, which is crazy at the game. But there were big lines of people trying to find their seats still by the time the game started at UCA. So maybe didn't miss the most exciting football, but did miss football, and that's unfortunate.
But still, it's like, okay, this is happening for UCA, FCS opponent, and Missouri did call it a sellout, which I believe is their 13th straight sellout. Very impressive.
Great work.
Yeah, this one will for sure be a sellout. But for KU, where every single seat, the highest sections in Faroe Field, like you go up to the tippy top, those tickets, like $230.
Yeah, if you haven't already bought your ticket, every probably 30 minutes it's going to get more expensive. So hurry up and do that.
Like, you know how much trail mix I can get with that? Like, I'd survive off trail mix.
How much trail mix you could get with $230?
Dude, I get a lot of trail mix.
How much does a trail mix bag cost?
I don't know, like $10, $12. I get the big ones. Because I eat a lot of it.
So 23 bags of trail mix for that ticket.
Yeah. That could sustain me for a long time.
When you put it like that, that is a lot of sustenance.
Tyson and I don't get much time to eat or sleep. No. So trail mix is calorie dense. It's good protein too. You get the peanuts. But yeah, $230 for those top tickets, and you know they're going to sell. And there's a reason they're that high. It's because people are going to go to this game.
Absolutely.
So there might be some real issues with trying to get into the stadium. So if you've had experiences, let us know. We'd love to talk about it or share your experience here on the Tiger Kickoff Show. Hopefully they get things figured out, and hopefully they have a plan going forward, and maybe they get like the MoDOT officials in there. Maybe have some real people directing traffic.
I've even heard of people in the ticket claim system getting booted out as soon as like the queue ends. Like they wait all that time to get their ticket, and then as they're on the website, like the screen goes away, and then you just lost your chance to get a ticket.
Well, there were people this morning that thought they found a loophole, or actually last night.
Okay.
They would change the time on their phone.
Really?
Yes, to today from like last night. And they would be able to get into the system and make a ticket claim. And they were able to secure their Kansas tickets.
Wow.
And they thought it was a loophole. And Mizzou came out and basically canceled all those tickets this morning and found out about it. And exposed the loophole, and now they're resetting things. Apparently, from what I've been seeing on Twitter, the ticket claim was a little smoother this week than it was for UCA.
That's a good sign.
But yes, it is a good sign. But this is obviously a new system that Mizzou is putting in place this year at the ticket claim.
Landon Cameron says we did that. So you're one of the ones that tried to heist the system. Unfortunately, they fixed it. You can't heist tickets, especially ones that cost this much, $230. But speaking of Faroe, there were games there this week. Before we get there, though, Jacob, we're going to be hosting a Kansas team who many say, wow, have you seen Jalen Daniels' production? He threw so many touchdown passes last weekend. Did you see him get Big 12 Player of the Week in Week 0 when 3 Big 12 teams played and 2 of them played against each other? What an accomplishment. Here's what I'll say about Kansas. And on this laptop, this 2019 MacBook Air that I've been carrying around for forever, I watched the film. I watched 2024 versus Baylor. I watched the entire Kansas versus Fresno State game twice. And I watched Kansas versus Wagner's meaningful reps, which means before Jalen Daniels came off the field. This team has put a seatbelt and a safety hat and gloves on Jalen Daniels this year to make sure he's not making the same mistakes as last year. And even with that being said, he still found a way. This is a team that runs motion, misdirection, shift. Let's make sure that we get a wide open one-on-one matchup with our quarterback. Let him make the play. And people say, wow, he throws on the run so well. He throws on the run so well. That's incredible. He throws on the run to a wide open tight end who came from across the field on a motion into a deep out. Nobody can cover that route in one-on-one. You're coming from all the way across the field. Or, Jacob, they'll do wide receiver screen, now screen, Let's get it out to our guy and let him make a play. Then 4 plays later, against Wagner, by the way, they run a fake screen, and then it's a post play up the field, and everybody says, wow, Jalen Daniels can make an incredible throw. He's got the arm strength, absolutely. He's got the arm talent, even, to fit that ball in there. But his decision-making, it has been abysmal. In the games that I've watched, the announcers and the commentators, who are supposed to be unbiased even, will say, I'm not sure what Jalen Daniels was thinking on that play. Yeah, I'm not sure who he was trying to fit that ball to. He threw it 10 yards over the head of the post, and there just happens to be a safety back there, interception. What have you seen about, specifically, the quarterback play from Kansas over these last 2 games?
Well, I'm going to talk about this first.
Okay.
Because Jalen Daniels has the measurables.
Yes, absolutely.
He has the arm strength. He has the speed.
He's thrown for 7,000 passing yards.
He has the agility, right? But what makes the best quarterbacks the best quarterbacks,
Ooh,
right?
You're going to get deep.
We're getting deep. We're going to have a deep discussion.
Yeah.
Who is the greatest quarterback of all time?
Tom Brady.
Easy answer, right? What were Tom Brady's measurables like? Not the fastest.
Yeah.
Decent arm strength. Decent accuracy. What made him the greatest quarterback of all time? His brain. His ability to process the defense pre-snap. His ability to know where his receivers are going to be. His ability to make those throws with accuracy, right? That's the things that Jalen Daniels are missing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that a lot of quarterbacks are missing. Intelligence is tough.
Especially in college ball.
Especially in college ball. It takes time to learn, and that's part of the thing that people don't realize, too. So a lot of people think these guys like come out of high school and then they're just going to become wizards because now they're playing Division I football. You played college football for 2 years. You realize how little practice time there really is to get a quarterback ready for the season.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, how many live reps do you take fully against a team preseason?
You don't. Especially, like, oh my gosh, these playbooks are so big, too. There's so many things that an offensive coordinator wants to be able to install. You're going to see so many defenses over the years. Like, especially during fall camp, we're putting in, like, 10, 12 new plays a day. And then you got to think offensively, the formations and the motions, and they've got to be able to make the checks and read the defense. There's a lot to do on every play. So when we say that Jalen Daniels is not the best decision maker, we're not saying he's not talented.
Nope.
We're not saying he's not athletic. We're not even saying he's a bad quarterback. I'd love to have him in the backfield. That'd be great.
Yep.
I just wouldn't ask him to make a decision on throwing a post when we've seen, or a corner route. The best example I can point to, Jacob, this is against Wagner, by the way. They run like a bench concept. They've got an out, and they've got a corner route.
Yeah.
So you've got an out, you've got a corner route. He's watching the receiver the entire time. And I know he's watching the receiver the entire time, and he's locked in on making this deep throw because Jalen Daniels wants to be a star quarterback.
Yeah,
he's throwing 7,000 passing yards. The corner in man coverage on the underneath route is watching his eyes too, which you can't do in man coverage.
Nope.
He's watching the eyes of the quarterback and makes the interception on the deep pass to the corner. Like, he's not even doing his job, and it doesn't matter because Jalen Daniels is not going to throw that underneath route when there's a post. There's so many examples, especially against Baylor, where in one-on-one coverage, where the corner is winning, the defensive back is winning the rep, or when the receiver is double covered, that he will make that throw anyway and say, I'm going to trust my guy and my arm, and it doesn't pay off, which is why now
it's not NCAA 26.
It's not the game. You're playing in Heisman mode in real life, where with real wear and tear and real physics, right? The game's not gonna teleport the ball into his hands, which is why now the offense is you'll shift the tight end into the wing to the other side of the formation, bring that tight end back in motion. Now the read is made for Jalen Daniels before he even takes the snap. You know where the ball is going to go because you know who's going to get that open look based off your coverage. Or you'll have plays where it's triple option. You know triple option.
Oh, played against it many times.
So
here we go.
He'll motion. Jalen Daniels will set up the offense, make the check. Jacob's my running back. I'm Jalen Daniels. Set. I'm going to fake the handoff here. There's another running back coming behind me I can pitch to, which Jacob's going to be the running back now. So then he'll fake the pitch, and then it's a play action to a play across the field. So now the defense has to play the dive, play the quarterback run, which Jalen Daniels is an incredible athlete. Stopping him on the run is very difficult. You have to a lot of resources to that. So Jalen Daniels can run. He'll fake the pitch now. So, okay, all my outside perimeter receivers, or all my perimeter defense is thinking, we got to go tackle the pitch. We've got one guy for Jalen Daniels. It's usually going to be your defensive end or outside linebacker. Then everybody else is flowing to the pitch. They fake that pitch and then throw it to a tight end on a drag or an over route across the field to the opposite direction. Do you understand the bind that puts a defensive back in? Because now, if you play the tight end, we don't have a perimeter defense for the pitch. If you play the pitch, it's at least 15-yard pass the other direction. So the offense is great and very well coached. Jalen Daniels is athletic, which is why you have to allot resources to that quarterback run. Fresno State eventually got close, but he was running all up and down the field against Fresno. He only had 170 yards and a bunch of touchdowns. Like, he played great. But it's because the offense now is designed to make it easy for the quarterback. Not a bad thing. But that means that as a defense, all you have to do is confuse the look. If the first read's not there, Jalen Daniels is going to force the first read. Pick.
I mean, you can also rely on your athleticism. Like, there was a team back when I was in high school, and again, high school ball doesn't translate to Division I SEC college football in any way, shape, or form, but they ran that exact same offense, where you have the triple option, and then they'd run the pass out of the triple option, because simply when you are running defense against a triple option, like you said, everybody knows their job. I played corner. My assignment was the outside pitch, right? Yeah. I could not lose leverage. Like, I had to win the sideline, come over the top, force back inside for bracket coverage, right? Like, that's my job. My job was not, watch what the tight end's doing, right? And that's why those plays can hit big. But it's on tape.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you with this Mizzou death row defense, talent's going to win out. You're going to have a guy that's going to step up and make a big play. And then, like, that front seven is going to be... That front seven is going to take away that dive.
Oh, my gosh. The Mizzou front seven... We'll talk about it when we talk about the UCA game too. Deadly.
But yeah, I'm not worried about the dive in any way, shape, or form with Kansas because of the front seven. Like, yes, like they might, have a good run play here or there, but
I don't know. Hyshawn and Le'Shawn Williams are decent running backs.
They're good, but again, this front seven is solid, and they're solid against the run too. And then yes, Jalen Daniels is your issue, right? Obviously, some of those passing plays are your issue.
Yeah,
but this Mizzou defense is so good this year. Like, my concern, like, we'll get into predictions later.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the Tigers in this game. Rivalry games have a lot of pressure that comes with them.
Yes.
And that can make offenses sometimes have issues, but typically defenses play really well in rivalry games.
And I thoroughly believe our defense will be perfectly fine.
I don't have any qualms of our defense. Our offense is where the questions come, I think, for me, and how they handle pressure. And obviously, Jalen Daniels has been with Kansas for, I think, 6 years.
A long time.
He's been with them for a long time. And that was what we were talking about with the playbooks. Bo's only been with the Tigers for 1. I almost wonder in some ways if that helps Bo, because...
How so? Now I'm curious. Hold on. Wait, just stay right here. Right? I gotta take some notes.
Where is he going?
I gotta take some notes.
Landon, I'm glad you got your ticket, bro.
Alright. So, what were you gonna say?
I was saying, I think it might be more beneficial that Bo has only been at Mizzou a year.
How so?
Than Jalen Daniels at 6 for Kansas. I think in a way, because if you come to Mizzou, right? I came from Chicago. Obviously, Tyson's been here in mid-Missouri his whole life, so he knows about it.
Yeah.
But I knew nothing of the Mizzou-KU rivalry when I came here.
Really?
I didn't really know they were rivals at all. I some college football fans that are really into it know all the rivalries, but Michigan, Ohio State play every year.
Yeah.
Right? You have, obviously Auburn and Alabama, the Iron Bowl, they play every year. You have Oklahoma and Texas, they play all the time, right? So
it says Georgia Tech versus UGA even. Like, that's a rivalry.
Yeah, right? But those are all active rivalries. Like, the Tigers and the Jayhawks haven't played in 14 years, which, like, going back to my life, 2011, what was I doing in 2011? I'm sitting in first grade, Tyson. That's what I was doing. I was learning addition with little blocks. I don't have to use math anymore. It's amazing. I love it.
Oh, so nice.
Oh, it's beautiful. But it hasn't been at the forefront of college football, so people kind of forget about it. I don't really know about it, right? I don't even know if Bo really even knew about it before he came to Missouri. He might have, big college football guy, but these players had to be educated on this rivalry, Bo being one of them. The guys that have been here for a while, they hear it every single time people play Mr. Brightside. The nice little word, KU.
Luther Burden even said it at the Chicago Bears. Did you see that on social media?
I did not see that on social media.
They had a post.
Being from Chicago, that's my favorite thing ever, by the way, Luther Burden's fair.
He said they had a post and they said, say something nice about our rival. And Luther goes, they know our song. And then starts mouthing to the camera. Yeah.
So you know it. Like, if you come here, you play football here, you know the deep rivalry, you know the bloodshed and the hatred for Kansas, right? Bo comes over here, right? He knows about it.
Yeah.
He's been educated on it.
No doubt.
But I don't know if he has that same hatred ingrained in him yet, which might honestly take the pressure off this game for him.
I'm going to argue with you.
You typically agree with me. This will be fun.
I'm going to argue with you. I think that growing up with this rivalry or being around it long enough, you will play better in this game. Because think about when you walk into the stadium. And even this happened for you in high school. When you walk into your home stadium, you're playing your crosstown rival, and the fans are up, and your parents all week are telling you, let's be ready for this game. And you circle the game. What happened to Thomas Castellanos when he gave them bulletin board material? When he gave Alabama bulletin board material? He just played out of his mind in week 1. And we'll talk about it. I think that when you have the pressure of a rivalry game or a team that you simply just don't like, you're going to go out there and be determined to give your best performance. And the thing that happened to Alabama is they didn't care as much because we're Alabama, this is Florida State. When you start losing that game, it's easy to deflate, right? In a rivalry game, no matter what, this play, I'm knocking out the person in front of me. I think there's no possible way that can hurt. You have to do it well. Bo Pribula has been around rivalries before. I'm sure they have a rival at Penn State. I don't know who it is.
I don't know who they're... Big Ten, something.
I don't think you can say that a rivalry hurts the game because there's so much that goes into it. And when they played Mr. Brightside in this third quarter, or fourth quarter, at the end of the third, you think there's a way that hurts because it's too much pressure? I think that's only a positive.
So, for the entire football field, outside of maybe receiver and quarterback, yes. Okay. I think it's a good thing. And I can tell, I've played in rivalry games myself. I know exactly what you're talking about. You have too. As a defensive player, there's nothing better than a rivalry game because, you hate the guy in front of you. Right. You don't want to feel bad for the guy that you're about to try to hit stick. You want to have as much hatred for your opponent as possible in any given Saturday or Friday or Sunday or Thursday or Monday. Basically every day of the week we play football except Tuesday and Wednesday. But you want that hatred in your heart, and I think it plays well for those positions where, frankly, you don't have to think too much, right? Defensive line, you know your assignment, you know your alignment, but basically, you know what you're doing. You might have contain, you might be slipping in a different A or B gap or wherever you're supposed to go, or dropping back or something like that. But defense for those positions, like corner, you know your coverage assignment, but outside of that, there's not much thought behind that, right? Backers, there's a lot of knowledge. Safety, you have some more knowledge.
They corrected you. They said, whoa, Maction plays on Tuesdays.
Give me some good Maction, man. NIU, baby. Go Huskies. The 1-0. Shout out my dad's alma mater. Is it just Wednesdays? Oh, yeah. If there's someone that plays on Wednesdays, please let me know. Please correct me. The Maction call was great. Yeah. But... I think for the quarterback position, what's different about it is it's what we talked about before. Mm-hmm. It's mental. There's so much mental pressure behind the quarterback situation. And if you're sitting there, some quarterbacks are great at it. The best ones are doing exactly what you'll say, Tyson.
Mac is on Wednesdays. No one plays Tuesdays. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
I swore Mac plays on Tuesdays, but...
I thought so too, but you know what? I'll take...
Yeah.
Tune into some action.
I do love some Mac football. Yeah.
I do love some action. They have great branding. They do that so well.
Yes, they do.
But I think depending on the quarterback, some deal with pressure better than others.
Yeah.
And if you're not a quarterback that deals well with pressure, you're gonna fault in those scenarios. In high school, we were a team that went to a state semifinal. We were a very good football team. We played our rivals, and our offense had a meltdown.
Yeah.
Just because we hadn't beaten them in a long time, and our quarterback just had a meltdown. Just didn't play well. Didn't play well under pressure. So it can happen. And that's why I'm saying with Bo coming in with a fresh set of eyes, you think of the big pressure games that you play in.
Yeah.
Right? most of the time, if you go into a baseball locker room, Game 7 or whatever it is, or a basketball locker room, or even football locker room, like there's guys that are constantly trying to treat it as another game.
Yeah.
Like it's just another game, right? Not putting that pressure of it's been 14 years. If Missouri loses this game, the season is over. Because if Missouri loses this game, the season is over.
Yes.
Right? And by sometimes, I think not having a full knowledge of what you're getting yourself into and just saying, yeah, it's another football game. Like, I know there's a rivalry here. I want to get the win for the fans. But, like, it's not like, life or death for me. That weight comes off your shoulders and you're able to play more free. Some quarterbacks play really well under pressure. I mean, you can think of a lot of guys that, heck, even Eli Manning, right? When the pressure's on, you can expect that guy to perform against his rival, right?
Yeah.
In New England. And Tom Brady, right? But there's other guys that fall apart. I mean, look at Sam Darnold at the end of the playoffs last year. Sam Darnold had a fantastic year for the Vikings in the NFL.
He literally was so pressured at one point in his career, he saw ghosts.
He did see ghosts, yes, with the Jets. But he had a great year in the regular season for the Vikings. And then fell apart. Jared Goff, too, right?
Yeah.
Great regular season year. And then playoffs come, pressure's on, falls apart. So I don't know what type of quarterback Bo is. Frankly, we haven't seen enough tape of him to know if he responds well in those high-pressure situations.
Yeah.
Brady Cook was one of those players that played really well when the pressure was on. I think the Tigers under him were like 11-1 in one-score games. But I think that by coming to this game with not being here for 6 years and knowing 6 years of hatred towards this rival, right, I think that you're able to play a little bit more freely if you're Bo Pribula. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not inside Bo's head.
Yeah.
I don't know how much he knows about the rivalry. Maybe he's just gotten on this train and has hated Kansas and read the research and gone back and looked at the Civil War and knows every single name of the people and houses that were burned from them darn Jayhawkers.
Yeah.
But I think he gets a little bit of a boost in terms of playing free.
Last thing I will say on this is when you talk about Bo and playing under pressure, when did he have his first full half starting? Oh, I don't know. Just when the season's on the line against Wisconsin in a packed Penn State stadium, right? He's played with the noise before. Now, you can argue in the black and gold he hasn't played anybody yet, and you'd be correct, right? From what we saw, he played better against UCA than Jalen Daniels played against Wagner, in my humble opinion, right?
I mean, I think there are very few quarterbacks that played better against an FCS opponent than Bo Pribula.
And that's with Jalen Daniels throwing 3 touchdowns. All of them were within 20 yards, by the way. You can fight me on this. The only big throw that he had was touchdown number 5 of the game, where the receiver ran in a straight line and didn't get picked up by the safety for Wagner. That's more of a disparity of talent between the receiver and defensive back than it is showing off Jalen Daniels' arm strength. The receiver had to wait for the ball and relocate it. It wasn't in stride. That's the last thing I'll say about Jalen Daniels as a quarterback, right? Defensively, we haven't even really got to defense. We'll make it quick because we have a lot to talk about. This defense is stifling. Really good. I thought they were going to be much worse than they were in the previous year. They lost 3 defensive backs in the draft. So when you lose that much pro potential, it's hard to reload. Life or death for this game? Absolutely. Never grew up a Mizzou fan, but I've already decided I might fight a Jayhawk fan. I think you're correct. So this defense, though, is going to be hard to navigate, especially you talk about a young quarterback. Here's the challenge, right? They run a lot of cover 1, a lot of cover 2 man. They love to get guys up to the line of scrimmage. They'll run their simulated pressures where they'll blitz a linebacker, bring the defensive end back out in coverage. You really never know who's coming as an offensive line, and we've got a lot of turnover at that position.
Yep.
So we'll have to see how they manage. This is the first game where there's a whole lot of pressure on this O-line because they're going to bring a lot of blitzes. They're going to bring a lot of man packages with press coverage. Our receivers haven't seen that yet this year. However, I saw a play that was very exciting. They ran an out route with a slant hitch. It was so simple, was the concept, but because they run man, 2 guys got cut up on the slant hitch. They run an out route to the outside. Wagner scored like a 60-yard touchdown. If Wagner can do that, do you think nasty wideouts can't find a way to get a rub off in man coverage? And they don't have help from their safety most of the time. Go back and watch Baylor 2024 when they were 5-7 5-6 fighting for a bowl game against Baylor. They ran the same play twice for a touchdown on 2 straight drives against this Kansas defense. Once was against cover 1, once was against cover 2 man. So no matter what they're running, if you run a play where you run that slight 5 yards up, right? and then you run a fade ball to the outside. So 5-yard vert, fade to the outside. No matter what coverage they beat, Baylor scored. Like, it was the same play with the same setup. If Mizzou can run that play with Marquise Johnson, the new safety is not keeping up with Marquise Johnson. And then if you force them vertical and man coverage where everybody's playing off, that's when you run your now screens. That's when you get the ball to Brett Norfleet. If you can make this team fear you vertically, it opened up the entire offense. And that's exactly what Baylor did to beat them. New defensive backs, sure. The last ones are in the league. So I think if it worked against them, it's going to work against this new Kansas defense. That's what I have to say about defense.
I think we've seen 2 strong deep ball throws from Bo Priola as well. And I think, too, how many non-SEC DBs can run with Marquise Johnson? Stride for stride.
We haven't seen anybody yet. It's only been 1 week this year, granted, but Iowa.
I mean,
last year. You remember Iowa last
year?
He's down there somewhere, right? And we got on to Jalen Daniels for doing the same thing. If it works, it works. Marquise Johnson's going to be down there somewhere.
Yep.
And, speaking of previous games, we have something else we got to talk about today. Bo is our guy.
Oh, Bo.
He has to be our guy now.
There's no choice. Shortest quarterback battle in history.
Yeah, it lasted 1 play, as you can see below me. I do want to say I've seen a lot of negativity towards the offensive staff for why would you put Sam Horn in this position? We're playing football at the collegiate level. Regardless of the play, there's a risk for injury. The only way to protect the quarterback, and I saw John Miller say this on Locked On Mizzou, the only way to protect your quarterback is to not have them throw a pass and to keep them on the sideline. This was a freak accident. Nobody's trying to get Sam Horn hurt. You could tell at the press conference, Drink was shaken up about the extent of this injury. He's going to be out indefinitely. It was a tragic thing that happens. Injury is part of this game.
Yep.
You cannot prevent it from happening. You can't scheme up an injury-free game. You can't.
Nope.
That being said, Zollers is our quarterback too now. He's got the highest passer rating on the team. We saw some good things from him. But
3 for 3 touchdown.
Yeah, in this rivalry game, you're counting on Bo Pribula. What did you see from him in his first game? Are you excited? What do we know about Bo?
What we know about sneeze.
Watermelon. That helps.
Watermelon. Okay. Oh no. That's two. Holy cow! I just sneezed.
That was a clean sneeze. That was a TV clean sneeze, though.
Was it? Was it a TV clean sneeze? Yeah. Man, allergies in Missouri. We're cooked.
That's going in the May tape, bro.
This is. What do we know about Bo?
Well, pause. Are you good?
I'll be fine. Just let me keep talking.
What do you know about Bo?
What do I know about Bo? Well, I know Bo Pribula is an absolute dual threat beast. That pump fake he had on that long touchdown run, I can't remember the exact yardage on it. Oh my gosh.
Is that the 31 yard? Yeah.
The 31 yard touchdown run where, that's a good chunk play. You got probably a first down, 10, 15 yards out of it. And then, he's well past the line of scrimmage. He's at the guy, and he just stops. And it's like, okay, Bo's like, I was running the end zone.
I'll tell you what.
Thank you, good sir. And I was like, that's hilarious.
I was impressed by his decision making and his time to get the ball out. Was great. Just need to see him play against a stronger team. Jacob,
yeah, exactly. It's an FCS opponent, right? So you have to take it all with a grain of salt. And it's encouraging. Obviously, we saw Brady Cook struggle against Middle Tennessee State in 2023, and everyone was like, ugh. And obviously, they're an FBS school, not an FCS team. But those lower tier
just
programs,
Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
Is
MTSU.
it state?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Middle Tennessee State University.
We played them, man. I didn't even know that.
MTSU.
Still learning from you, Jacob.
Yeah, this is great. I basically have old dog Tyson. He knows all my tricks now, so now someone else is going to have to teach this old dog new ones.
And his improvising. Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. And that's what really does matter, too, is what happens when the play breaks down. Because it's college football. An offensive coordinator would love it if everything goes to plan. But there's this guy called a defensive coordinator whose sole job is to make sure none of that goes to plan.
Right.
So what happens when the defensive coordinator wins the scheme battle? It's up to your quarterback to make a play. And that's actually the funny thing that the heart of this KU-Mizzou rivalry goes down to is what happens when the play breaks down for Jalen Daniels, what happens when the play breaks down for Bo Pribula. And what I've seen from both of these two quarterbacks so far, I trust Bo a lot more to make the right decision in terms of passing, in terms of running a good offense when that play does break down. Because both of these defenses, like we mentioned, they are strong defenses. They do have strong qualities.
Yeah.
And in week 1, Bo made the easy throws look easy, which is that just from a quarterback. Like, seeing that is good. Like, that's a great sign. Like, when you can make an easy throw look easy and actually make it. There's only one or two throws I saw from Bo that were truly concerning. It was the one that he hung up high for Brett Norfleet, and he got rung on.
Yeah.
And then he had, I think he had another deep ball that was just nowhere near a receiver.
It's hard to make those easy throws easy. We saw Arch Manning struggle with making easy throws easy. We saw a quarterback from across the border in lowercase Kville that also struggled with even like a 5-yard out pass. You've got your guy open. You like throws you have to make to be a starting college football player. I think Bo so far, again, very small sample size at the University of Missouri. He can make the easy throws easy in week 1. Does that translate to a team that plays much tighter coverage where you're going to have blitzes and you're not going to have that same amount of time?
I don't think Kansas can honestly run man coverage against this Tigers team.
I think they're going to have a hard time doing it.
Like if they are that confident in their scheme that it works out, and if we are who we say we are, we're going to run man coverage. Like, yeah, go for it. The other thing is too though, playing DB. Mm-hmm. Running man for an entire game is exhausting.
Oh yeah.
It takes a toll on you. Week 2 of the year. So you're still dealing with players that are going to be cramping, players that might not have their bodies completely warmed up and ready to go for the season yet.
Yeah.
We saw a couple players cramp in the UCA Mizzou game.
We did.
And it happens. Like, no one wants to cramp. No one, maybe they didn't eat enough bananas the night before or drink
Pedialyte, pickle juice.
You ever drink pickle juice?
No, I was a Pedialyte
guy. I was a
guy.
Pedialyte guy too. Yeah.
What's your favorite flavor?
I like the grape ones.
Oh no, the orange mixed fruit.
I can't do the orange.
I still drink it today. I got it in my fridge right now.
The purple ones taste like
medicine.
Like and that's probably not a good thing for me. But I like the taste of it. It's good. It hydrates you.
You drink medicine often?
Tylenol? No.
Anyway,
I drink Pedialyte. That's where I get my fix. I've always seen the cover in high school football here in Missouri. Shout out all those teams for that Rockbridge last week. Rockbridge, they have some figuring out to do.
Rockbridge might not have it together. Boonville High School, meanwhile, Boonville High School drives to Illinois on a charter bus. They've got DVDs playing, eating bananas and snacks on the way there, right? Goes to play the top 10 team, number 9 in Class 6 in the state of Illinois. Little old 3A Boonville, who had their name misspelled on the flyer. Quincy put Booneville. Name misspelled.
Disrespect. That's literal, like, Bolton flyer material.
Literally. That's literal, like, we don't care enough to double check. Little old Boonville comes to town against the Blue Devils and sends them straight back down. Braille Nelson with the pancake block. Tatum Huff, a huge deep throw. Brad Norberry, kickoff return, touchdown. Then they're down to their backup quarterback and running back because the starters both cramped and were out of the game at the end of the fourth quarter. Backup quarterback runs a read option, takes it himself, game-winning touchdown. Oh, man.
Cramping, though. Like, it's a real thing. So, this is actually what... funny enough, led to the Falcons blowing their lead against the Patriots, 28-3 game.
Yeah.
All the way back in 2015 or 2016, I believe, whenever that season was, Matt Ryan MVP year.
Yeah.
They were beating Tom Brady because they had fantastic defensive backs and they were running man coverage, and their defensive backs were just frankly better. But by the second half, the third quarter, their defensive backs were exhausted.
Yeah.
And they had to start switching it up and running zone. And because of what we talked about, the intellect of Tom Brady and able to pick apart his own defense, he was able to dice them. And obviously, the rest is history. 28-3 evaporated like that.
Yeah.
And the Patriots won the Super Bowl. But running man coverage against a team like Missouri, when you have Marquise Johnson, who would tire me out in one rep and leave me 30 yards in the dust at the same time.
Yeah.
So, you're running a man against that guy.
And
Kevin Coleman the entire time.
Josh Manning, who can catch everything.
If you're putting, I don't know if you're putting an outside backer or someone against Brett Norfleet too, consistently as well. That guy runs fast and he's big. And you're not going to put a DB against him because he's going to run that guy into the ground.
Yeah.
Right? So, you put yourself in a tough spot here running man coverage. And then on top of that, man coverage is easy to break.
Yes.
It's very easy to scheme up against. It's great when it works well and you really can trust your corners and you have great defensive backs.
Yeah.
Like cover 2 man is a great coverage when you have 2 strong safeties and you've got 3 strong corners and you can just run it and go. But there's a lot of issues, especially when you have matchup issues, when your receivers are faster than your defensive backs, which is frankly better. And I trust Kevin Coleman more than I trust Kansas DBs.
I also think I trust Josh Manning, who had 4 targets.
Oh my gosh, he caught everything.
He caught one in contact.
Check his gloves.
He got caught with the helmet as he caught the ball. He literally on the play looked like this. Made the catch. Then had another one that was too low, right? Thrown at his feet, able to pull down that one. And then 2 more on the sideline. He gets up and hits his little flakes. You earned it, Josh Manning. You earned it the way that you caught yesterday. Or not yesterday, this weekend.
It feels like yesterday.
Incredible plays. And so, yeah, even if he's covered, I trust him in one-on-one coverage to come down with the ball in contact. But I feel like we talked about Bo for enough. Do you want to talk about the rest of the team, or we want to save that for Thursday?
We'll save that for Thursday. Watch the Tiger Kickoff Show.
Yeah, and then we'll head on to our next segment then. Damn, wild week 1.
Yeah.
So much happened
Crazy.
in this first week. The SEC's shaking up. The ACC's shaking up. All from the same game. Alabama, Florida State, Jacob. What on earth happened? What happened? That is not Nick Saban's Alabama anymore.
No, it's not Nick Saban's Alabama.
No.
What the heck happened to Alabama?
Dude, they don't have any of the luster and the aura. I'm not afraid to play Bama. I can't wait till they show up.
What happens to our strength of schedule? The one thing we were supposed to have is, Missouri. Yeah, they don't play anybody too much. Oh, they play Alabama. Yeah, that'll be the strength of schedule win for the Tigers if they, I don't know, want to make the college football play. Nope. Florida State comes in. Oh, I'm Nick Castellanos. I played for Boston College last year. See ya. Runs, touchdown, beats Kalen DeBoer, Alabama. Does that guy have a job by week 3?
Who, DeBoer?
Yeah.
He gets fired after they lose at Faroe, is my prediction. Which is a crazy prediction after 1 week of football.
The guy went to a national championship with Washington. I mean, like, Michael Penix, like, coached him up. Like,
This is not the
Roma Dunze, like...
It's not because they lost. Let's get that out of the way. Everybody loses football games. That's why you play the game. It's the way this team got dominated. Just like Dante Jackson saying in the comment section, the trenches battle was completely one-sided. You can't lose, and you can't... One play at the end of this game made me realize, okay, this is not the Alabama team we're used to. It's 3rd down and long. They run the ball to the right side. The running back goes out of bounds on the sideline. It's now 4th and 2. Goodness gracious, what a blunder. You just gave Alabama a chance to come back. Very next play, they just run an outside run to the left side of the field, and it's the easiest touchdown you've ever, or it's the easiest first down you've ever seen with the game on the line, and the whole second half of the defense on the weak side of the play is not running full speed. Like, you would have never seen that.
They're jogging.
You would have never seen that.
They're jogging.
The culture is completely destroyed. He said Nick Saban's not there to save them. Nick Saban wasn't there to coach them in the offseason, clearly, because the effort that they displayed, the way that they fought back from a loss was not Alabama standard. He's now tied with Nick Saban's entire Alabama career for losses to unranked teams as a head coach for Alabama in 2 seasons. He's lost 4 games to unranked opponents. Nick Saban, in all of his life as an Alabama head coach, lost 4 total games to unranked teams. I don't think... Now, granted, if they win and they go 8-4, or if they go 7-5 in the SEC, you played a bunch of teams because you're in the SEC. But this is not the standard for Alabama. If you even touch 500 after probably week 3, you don't have a job in Alabama. I don't think.
No, the thing with Nick Saban too that made Nick Saban so special was it was never about the result. Yes, winning college football championships came.
Yeah.
Yes, being number 1 for basically my entire childhood came. Right?
I'm so glad the rivalry, I'm glad that it's over.
Me too. It was like the Patriots. All right, we're done with this. But those were all effects of the cause.
Sure.
And the cause is playing to the standard. And this is the standard. And this is the way we do things. And when you have a program like college football and you're growing young men and you're teaching them the standard, by the time the freshmen there are seniors, they know the standard and they keep the standard.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how it's been in Saban's entire career. And that's why when Saban, starting to lose a stride or two, right? He's starting to getting closer to retirement, right? Alabama didn't really falter until really that last year of Nick Saban. Alabama didn't falter. And the reason they did not falter was because the entire team kept the standard. A coach himself cannot keep a standard for the entire football team.
Right.
What a coach can do is change the culture. That culture enforces the standard. That standard produces the result.
It's very hard to...
It happened here at Missouri. It's happened here in Missouri.
Yeah, absolutely.
And players have been very vocal about it. Brady Cook talked about it. Darius Robinson talked about it.
We said every meeting, the standard is the standard, and you either meet the standard or you're not the standard. When you're not, they'll find somebody who meets the standard. You're exactly right. It's about every play, making sure that every person out of the 11 is giving their 100% effort, is executing the play properly, and executing their assignment. Alignment, assignment, play to the standard. And the standard goes over your feelings. It doesn't matter if you're tired. The standard, if you need your feelings to meet the standard, and we're not going to drop the standard for you. It just feels completely different, and it's a night and day. Now, obviously, we don't want DeBoer gone, right?
I think he's a good football coach.
I think so too.
Is the pressure of Alabama? I don't even know what.
And if he continues to coach there, this would be great for us as Mizzou fans.
Yeah.
This would be great. But that's enough, because
Mississippi State can be better than Alabama this year?
Never, ever. Never, ever. You know who might? This South Carolina team. Did you catch the game last night? I didn't even watch Vandy.
Diego Pavia looks good. I did not catch the game last night, but...
Lenore Sellers is not a human being. He's not a human being. This guy, okay, he's in the pocket. It's third down, by the way. He's in the pocket. Defensive end grabs both shoulder pads of him. He ducks underneath, gets outside, second broken tackle. He just sheds off a second tackler. Third guy can't reach him, walks up the sideline on 3rd and 11, which should have been a 6-yard sack, gets the first down. 4th and 5, direct snap, quarterback designed run to the same side of the field. First down. He's unsackable. And I thought it was our fault defensively. We all did. We're watching film on the South Carolina game. This is some insider tea for you. We're watching film on the South Carolina game. He should have been sacked here. This should be a sack. If we're doing our job here, this play there should be a sack. It doesn't matter. We had a quarterback spy. Virginia Tech had players whose sole job is to contain. They ran cage rush, and it worked. They got a safety even against Lenore Sellers because they ran a cage rush, defensive tackles penetrate, defensive ends. Your only job is to keep them in the pocket. And it worked until it didn't. Then when you need it the most, game on the line, twice in a row you allow the quarterback out of the pocket to score. I don't know how anybody stops him. Called it before week 1. I have Sellers winning Heisman. Not even a crazy take. He's up there in the voting for me after this first week. I'm going to send you the link to the highlights. This guy is insane. He's insane. I don't know how you stop him. And we're going to have to find a way.
Yeah, South Carolina's one of the games that we talked about this week 1. I was like, that's the one game I'm kind of worried about with that. Alabama we talk is the loss, and then it's South Carolina. It's
Texas A&M. There's not a lot to say. They played a cupcake game against UTSA.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I hate Mike Elko, here's that word again. I'm gonna reserve that for KU. As much as I dislike Coach Elko,
okay,
Texas A&M's got a good squad.
They do,
and Marcellus Reed is. He's good. And we didn't get to play him against last year because they decided to do a swap on us and throw in Kyra Wingman.
As long as they don't mail us a blanket before the game, I have faith in this Mizzou team to win this game.
I went to SEC Media Days this summer. I don't know what it is. They're still talking about it. They think it's the funniest thing ever. Yeah. I cannot tell you how many questions Eli Drinkwitz, Connor Tollison, Zion Young, and everyone else answered about this freaking blanket that was mailed to Missouri. There's reporters wanting to get questions in about I don't know who's going to start at quarterback, and there's this Texas A&M reporter being like, "Hey, what are your thoughts on the blanket that was mailed to you?"
Yeah, and so
it's come on, bro, shut up.
A&M didn't look good. I will say I didn't expect UTSA to play as well as they did against Texas A&M. However, that's a week 1 game. I don't think there's enough to take away from that game to make a read. From the Alabama game, we can say Alabama's cooked. This is not the Alabama game. That was not as clear against UTSA. They did have some defensive drives that make you kind of sweat if you're an A&M fan. That team, we'll give it a week and we'll make a determination.
Can I give you a devil's advocate take?
Okay, sure.
Notre Dame week 1 or week 2 last year, lost to Northern Illinois.
Yeah, they did.
And then they went to the national championship.
They also did that. Yeah.
So, can Alabama rebound from this? Or, I mean, and I have my own counterpoint to my counterpoint.
I was gonna say.
Or, like, is it just over?
It is a tough look. It was a bad look for Notre Dame too. I hear what you're saying. However, the loss was not just a fluke loss. Notre Dame lost on a field goal.
Yeah.
Thomas Castellanos said months ago, they don't have Nick Saban to save them. I don't see them stopping me. End quote. And prove them exactly right. I've got a tweet up right now. It's basically the same picture as LeBron with everybody reaching up to him. He's got his fist in the air, and everybody that was watching the game from Florida State is reaching around Tommy Castellanos. They love him.
He's awesome.
As they should.
He was amazing to watch on film last year for Boston College.
People got made fun of us for almost like fumbling against him. Like, how do you not contain? Alabama couldn't do it.
No.
But okay, what else?
Well, they're not the standard anymore.
That's true. What did you see in the SEC besides that? I know you were going to talk about Vanderbilt. Who else played well? I'm trying to think. Oklahoma, John Mateer looked okay.
Yeah.
Again, Cup.
We're gonna go to Norman.
Yeah.
I think the counterpoint that I was gonna make is that Marcus Freeman is one heck of a head coach, and he knows how to change the culture and bring guys back. And he had some great humility that he showed by meeting with the head coach from NIU and actually like looking at the tape and saying like, hey, like this is how we beat you guys.
Yeah.
And then they took that, made changes, went to a natty.
To the natty.
Right? So like I'm not saying that like, oh my gosh, Kalen DeBoer needs to go call up FSU right now and be like, how did you beat us? Because the answer is Tommy Castellanos. It's Thomas Castellanos. Like that is the answer.
Yeah.
Sorry, we can't give him. He's ours now.
Yeah.
Too bad that FSU team from 2 years ago didn't have Castellanos as their backup.
Yeah. Man.
Otherwise, that team would have won a natty.
Now, Jacob, we will talk about this Kansas game a lot.
Yeah.
On the Tiger Kickoff Show episode on Thursday. Before we get there, you were curious. Not about this. We were curious about our predictions, and I'm going to send it back to Hate Week. 100 years of hatred.
Yeah.
A lot of years since our last time playing.
Yeah, 14.
What is your score prediction? I flipped it on you. What is your score prediction for Mizzou versus Kansas 2025? Chat, if you're watching this game right now, type your score predictions as well.
Yeah, you can also let us know on Twitter and X at Tiger Kickoff.
Yeah, let us know your score predictions while Jacob's
we got our socials there somewhere. So I think that there might be a new rule created this week for a team to score negative points.
Really?
Yeah. I think basically what's going to happen is, so it's going to be like a safety, but instead of being a safety,
you're right. Yeah,
they're all just going to run away.
Okay.
And just not come back.
Sure.
Yeah, they're gonna hear Mr. Brightside being sung not in the third or fourth quarter. They're just gonna be hearing it sung from just the entire stadium as they walk in, and it's just good. They're gonna be scared and they're gonna run. On a score prediction, okay, I think the Tigers go. I think they ball out.
Yeah.
I think they ball out. And I think that this is the type of rivalry, too, where you don't take your foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah.
I think Eli Drinkwitz is going to go Tennessee revenge game mode.
We're standing on business now.
We're standing on business. Eli Drinkwitz, so hard for that. I hope you see this someday. But I think the Tigers win this one like 38-14.
38-14? Okay. That's pretty interesting because we got 32-14, 34-21, 31-20. Everybody thinks we're going to score around the 30s range. I think that's a safe bet in this game. I'm going to change it up because we run the ball a lot. We do. My prediction is this game goes 21 billion to 0. that's my final score prediction. Based on what we've seen on the tape, I got 21 billion to 0 is my score prediction. Let us know yours in the comment section down below on Instagram and on X. We will see you on the next episode of the Tiger Kickoff Show podcast next weekend. But before then, Tiger Kickoff Show Kansas preview will be on Thursday. So make sure you're looking out for that. It'll be on this YouTube channel down below me. Leave a like on the podcast, subscribe. We will catch you in the next one after Kansas wins 21 billion to 0. Peace out.
It's a better take than me.
Whoa.